Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now this video is a part 2 of my previous video of my first breakup story. So if you have not already watched that video, make sure you watch it first, as this is a continuation of that. At the end of this video, if you've enjoyed it, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Now on to part 2 with my 5 tips on getting over heartbreak or getting over a breakup.
With any stressful thing that comes in life, you just need to realize, my advice, I don't want to say you just need to as if it's the only thing to do, but my advice is to basically realize, like, there's a time for everything, right? So at that moment you're sad, allow yourself to be sad. Don't, sometimes we try to be strong and we're like, you know what, I'm over it, like, it's whatever, I don't care. But the fact is, if you've been with somebody for 3 years, unless they really do some huge damage to you, it's gonna be difficult for you to get over them in a day. So give yourself time to get over the situation. I used to do that too. I used to be like, you know what, this is the last time, I'm not going back, I'm over him. And then a week later, I'd be back on that same crack. So you have to, like, realize there's a time for everything and allow yourself to go through the pain, and then allow yourself to stop, to be like, okay, what's done is done. This is what it was, this is what it is right now. It can't be, we can't be together, so what? It can't roll over onto other aspects of your life. So the first advice is to just allow yourself time to process, to heal, to get over the situation. Don't feel like you have to get over it in a day, no matter what the person did to you. It doesn't matter if the person was beating on you. It doesn't matter if the person was a great person to be with. You still, are allowed a certain period of time to feel the hurt, to digest all the pain, and eventually get over it. My next thing is to block the person. Block the person on every avenue. On social media, if you don't want to block them, you at least hide them from your timeline. Refrain from going back on their social media to look and keep up with them and see what's going on. That's only going to hurt you more. Like, when you decide to break up with the person, or when the situation over, let it be over. Eventually maybe you guys could work to a point where you are friends, but in the beginning, no. Clean cut. No social media, no texting each other, no nothing. Don't entertain the BS. Block the person, because you need that time, like, especially if you've been around a person consistently for a long period of time, you need to give yourself time to just be free from that person, to let go of the situation, to just woosah for a bit, to relearn how to be without them, because you were with them for a long time. So give yourself time. Refrain from stalking them on social media. Refrain from, like, do your best to try to not have to be in the same circle as them for a while, until you are healed enough that at least on the outside it looks like you're over the situation. Because sometimes it takes a while for you to heal from the inside out, where you can go on to be their friends, you can see them be with another person and not be affected. But before you get to that point, there's a point where you are at least healed enough that you can be in the same space as them, and on the outside look like you have the situation under control and that you're fine. So the third thing is, as far as the third thing is related to your surroundings. So I don't know about you, but whenever I'm going through a breakup or whenever I'm sad, I indulge in my sadness. So I know that I'm sad. What do? I play sad music. I watch a whole bunch of sad movies, just to, like, I don't know, like, I've been reading the 4 agreements, and it says something about that, like, about how we like to abuse ourselves. And I think that's what it is, like, because I'll be sad, and instead of trying to play happy music to cheer myself up, it's like I'd rather just be sad. I'd rather just listen to sad music, and just drown in my sorrows. But, you know, I can go back to the first initial advice that I gave, which is I understand that there's a time for everything, so I'll allow myself to drown in my sorrows, but then the next day be like, all right, girl, enough. Let's go. You've had enough. Let's go. The next advice is, we're young. Like, you know, if you're out there and you found the person that you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life, early in your life, like early in your 20s, like I am right now, then that's awesome for you. That's amazing. That's great. But if you don't, it's fine. Like, you will eventually find somebody. There's no rush. So realize that that breakup is not the end of the world. At the moment, it's gonna feel like the end of the world, but in a year or two, who knows? You might meet somebody that's even more than what that person was, and you'll be head over heels over them. You won't even be thinking about that person. Okay, I'm back. Now I probably look hella different in this clip, and that's because my camera overheated and then my battery was exhausted. But I just want to finish off this video with my last advice, which is that with any breakup, breakups doesn't define who you are. So if you break up with somebody, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It may just be that you guys just weren't right for each other. I know that, you know, now looking back, I realized that I didn't have any boundaries for myself. I thought I loved him so much that I allowed a lot of things that otherwise I wouldn't have allowed, that I've never allowed before, and that I will never allow again in my life. I allowed a lot of, you know, things to happen because I thought that I loved him so much. And now I just know that aside from, you know, being in a relationship where I have boundaries, I understand that love is not the end all be all. I feel a lot of times society pressures you as a young girl and makes you feel like, oh, you have to learn how to cook, you have to learn how to do this, you have to learn how to do that in order to prepare yourself for marriage. And oftentimes people are, you know,
watching this back, I realized I wasn't clearly getting my point across, and my point was basically that love is not the end all be all, in the sense that respect, loving your own self, being happy, those things are even more important than feeling like you love somebody. Oftentimes we allow people to abuse us, to do certain things to us, cheat on us, lie to us, all this stuff, all in the name of love. We forgive them because we say we love them. But your happiness, your being, feeling like you're in a relationship where you can grow, all of those things are even more important than love, quote unquote love. And ultimately, I know this because I'm saying this because, you know, some people have died over love. They've stayed in relationships where their partner is beating on them, you know, doing whatever to them, and they stay on them because they quote unquote love them, and then eventually the partner ends up, you know, killing them. So that's what I'm saying, and I'm trying to say in this video, which is that to me, love is not the most important thing in the whole entire world.